Your Royal Highness, Princess Victoria, Mr. Deputy Secretary General of the UN, dear Attorney Karim, friends Veronique, Hakima. First of all, let me recognize and congratulate the commitment and compromise of the Royal House of Sweden with environment, water, and development. It was during the first day of the Climate Week in Paris when we organized with the Minister Royal, with the Prince of Wales and Peru, the Forest Day. And His Royal Highness, the King of Sweden, appeared in the front door with no previous announce, just to sit in the audience to learn. It was a signal of commitment and compromise, so congratulations because of that. And exactly, Tony, it was exactly a year ago when I was here, really in the plenary, in the opening session, wearing jeans and sport shoes because my luggage had not arrived with me. So I took that opportunity to make some reflections about the non-formal, my jeans, and the formal, my jacket, in relation to water. So at that time, the reflection was how much the water agenda had been engaged with the climate agenda and with the development agenda. And I think that the big conclusion, it was not so close. So we should work hardly to trying to bring the water agenda toward the development discussion. And exactly during 2015, the world has taken, I think, the most important decisions that are moving the planet toward a new paradigm of development. The Addis Ababa financing agenda, the Sendai framework for disaster risk management, the SDGs, and the Paris Agreement. And specifically, through the SDGs, we, in the water agenda, has gained a lot. Now we have more clear goals, more clear targets, more ambitious targets. But let me ask a question. We do think that is enough? Are we going to change our behavior because of the goal? So what is the difference between this new text in the SDGs in comparison with the MDGs? I think that we do need to work more on this water agenda. And we should learn of what we have already developed in the climate agenda. So let me move in some suggestions to make this presentation very propositive and proactive. The climate debate has already gained a lot of political importance. It is in the top of the development agenda. It is part of the new paradigm of development. The concept of decarbonized and resilient economy, it is in the top mind of all the politicians. So what is the equivalent with water? What is that concept that we should develop to make the water agenda with more awareness on politicians and in politics? I love, Mr. Deputy Secretary General, the idea of water as peace, water as life, and water as dignity. We don't need to convince the politicians with that kind of phrase. We don't need to go to their mind to have them putting the water agenda in the top of the discussion. My second reflection is that in the climate agenda, there is a very clear threshold, 2 degrees, and we should make all the effort to don't go over 1.5. It is very clear also in the Paris Agreement. And we do know, because a lot of information, that the current trend is going to move us over 3.8 degrees, and that can have or will have catastrophic consequences. So let me ask something. What is the equivalent for the water? What is that threshold? What is that measure, that metric, that can make us more aware that we do need to change? we do need to create a threshold because it is the only way to have everybody aligned in the same path, in the same road. And we should know what are or what that will mean to go over that threshold in relation to the water. And that moved me to my third reflection and suggestions. I think that the science, in the case of the climate debate, had and has played a key role. The IPCC, the synthesis report for decision makers of the IPCC, not only with scientific data, but also with recommendations for decision makers, has played a key role. The fifth synthesis report for decision makers that was presented with the presence of the Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, in Copenhagen before of the COP21, it was really important in trying to create more awareness. But we don't have the same for the water. We don't have exactly a room or a place that can synthesize all the data and scientific information for water. And we do need to have that, because the information for water, it is broader. There are a lot of information, different kind of information from different sources. My fourth reflection, it is about two key words on the climate debate: sense of urgency and ambition. Sense of urgency because the threat, and ambition because we do need to change. What is the equivalent of the water? What is the sense of urgency? It is the scarcity, it is the dirty water, it is the losses of sources of water. How can we create the idea of the sense of urgency to try to move this agenda forward? And water of peace, it is a key word to thinking on that sense of urgency. And let me say, we are used to saying the next war is not going to be because of oil, but because of water. So why we don't begin to think preventively on the peace agreement because of that war? What should be involved in that peace agreement in relation to water? To try to continue thinking on water as peace. The equivalent water is peace. So what is going to be that peace agreement to put all the world together to thinking about of the water? My fifth reflection, it is about the new concept of development, the green economy, the natural infrastructure, the economics of ecosystems and biodiversity, among some others. We should think in something like water development product, the water GDP. We should measure our growing by thinking on water. We should include in the green economy and the green growth the water as a key topic to be developed. And also, and I agree with Karim, that the NDCs play a very key role, because the importance of the NDCs are that has created confidence. The NDCs has played a role to create balance between the top-down, the agreement, and the bottom-up, the reality of the countries. And in most, as appeared in an article that you have wrote for this meeting, in most of the NDCs that includes adaptation, 80% includes water. So there is an opportunity to work based on that. But as a first step, because I think that we should think in having something specific for water, the water national commitment, the water national contribution, to create confidence, to know exactly how we can move to the future and toward a sustainable future in which water it is a key issue. So because of that, in relation to NDCs, two recommendations. First one, in 2018, the world is going to put again on the table revised NDCs. And the poor countries and the developing countries need technical assistance to improve their NDCs, to give to them more scientific data, more strong knowledge. So we should work to have a more strong water agenda in that revised NDC for the future. And my second contribution, it is about the water national commitment. How can we move toward that new idea, to trying to have all the world putting on the table that idea? And also, we should recognize that the importance of the NDC, it is that through Morocco and after Morocco, what we are going to do as a planet, it is including more enforceable mechanism to make the NDC the key element to raise the ambition. So that mechanism for enforcement are very important. My seventh reflection, it is about some other mechanism. Technology transfer for water treatment, for example, building capacity, water volume, water pricing. And let me put on the table, on the discussion, one element. In the climate debate, it is very clear that we should eliminate the subsidies to the fossil fuels. It is clear that it is impossible to move toward a decarbonized economy if we don't do that. What are the equivalent of that subsidies in water? What are creating that kind of obstacle that we should deal with? I think that there are some elements that make that the politics on water are not a real politic. We should move that kind of thinking on the politicians when we think about water. My eighth reflection, this is one of the last one, it is that we should include and engage non-state actors. We should work based on what we had done with the Lima-Paris Action Agenda and now with the Climate Action Partnership to include non-state actors working together with government. So that moves me to my last reflection. It is more a dream. I hope and I'm sure that in the future we will see the World Water Week, the CIWI meeting, as the Water COP. So as the most important place for discussing the water agenda between government and non-state actors. And because of that, I think that the high-level panel on water will play a very key role, a very productive and useful role. I congratulate the two co-conveners, the Secretary General of the United Nations and the President of the World Bank, and also the two co-chairs, Mexico and Mauritius. I think that through the high-level panel on water, we can create this new structure to put the water agenda in the top of the development agenda. Thank you very much.